Well, big tech has now changed the dynamic on the law and everything else. YouTube proved this week they are the law. Police in Yonkers, New York are slamming YouTube after it removed this video showing an attack on a 67-year-old Asian American woman in an apartment building. They say the man on video is a career criminal who punched her at least 125 times earlier this month, causing severe injuries. They put the video out for the public to see. Yonkers police then tweeted a screenshot of a message from YouTube telling them that YouTube yanked the video because it violates their violent and graphic content policy. Yonkers police tweeted in response, "Dear YouTube, safety isn't derived from censoring content and information. It's the product of a free society that adheres to the rule of law." YouTube later reinstated the video with an age restriction after a mass outcry on the issue. Tony Katz, radio talk show host, with us now. You almost wish you could write this up to, oh, it was YouTube's algorithm, but it probably wasn't.
It's always YouTube's algorithm until they get enough people talking about it. If we trusted YouTube's algorithm, there wouldn't be a conservative left within all of YouTube, just like there wouldn't be a Twitter, it wouldn't be a Facebook. Sometimes you have to push back. There is an argument to be made that YouTube took this down because it is violent. There's also an argument to be made that YouTube took this down because it doesn't fit narrative. Here's an Asian woman being attacked by somebody who they don't like to claim is attacking Asians in the streets of New York. So there is that part of the conversation. It doesn't fit narrative, and YouTube is guilty of those kinds of things.
Right, or the narrative that no bail, low bail policies and letting career criminals go out on bail or recognizant bonds when they've committed minor offenses doesn't fit the narrative either. Again, once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, three times is an enemy action. Twitter, not owned by the same company, but of the same ilk, suspended the Babylon Bee, which is a conservative version of The Onion, for naming Rachel Levine, who is a female transgender member of government. She's the number 2 or number 3 people at Health and Human Services. Babylon Bee named her Man of the Year, and Twitter pulled the Babylon Bee's whole account. Hard to imagine. I guess now being mean is cancelable. So I guess we're to believe now that you can only be mean if you are on the left. If you're mean and satirist on the right, then you're done.
Well, I think we got to have a much more honest conversation about it. What the Babylon Bee did, and the Babylon Bee is not like The Onion. The Babylon Bee is funny. What the Babylon Bee did is they responded to USA Today, which named Rachel Levine as one of their Women of the Year. But Rachel Levine, as you are discussing, is a man. Living your life the way you choose to, that's fine. But you can't tell people one thing when it's actually another. So the Babylon Bee responds by naming Rachel Levine as their Man of the Year. So Twitter either does one of two things, either doesn't accept satire or doesn't accept facts. And both are pretty bad for Twitter.
Interestingly enough, in Twitter, it almost seems like they're taking this personally, right? Because Tucker Carlson tweeted literally just the facts of the situation and also suspended him for it.
Well, again, we're talking about narrative here. We're talking about what you just described as mean, but it's not mean. Facts are not mean. I think it's mean what we're doing to women in sports. I think it's mean what Governor Eric Holcomb of Indiana did to women here, girls in sports, by vetoing House Bill 1041 that would have further protected them. I think it's mean what the governor of Utah, I think it's Spencer Cox, did in vetoing that bill protecting girls in sports. Right. Those things are mean.
So we've seen conservative free speech platforms fail over and over and over again. We have seen attempts to curtail censorship on the mass social media sites fail over and over and over again. What has to happen for a site to exist that either allows all speech or evenly applies the rules?
Well, I think that there are sites that are out there. I think there are sites that are trying. Look, I have no financial at all relationship with Rumble, but I do host video there using that just as an example. But there are others that are trying, and that's exactly what you should do. But the one thing you shouldn't do is think that you're going to get Twitter to change. Twitter won't change. Twitter has decided to be terrible. They are awful, and they know it. They are pushing narrative, they're pushing their own ideological desires, and they have no interest in anybody else speaking because they believe they know best what free speech is.
Well, yeah, and they're proud of it as well. Tony, great to see you as always. Thank you. Appreciate the perspective.
Take care, man.
Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.